Hey guys, Fractus Smuggler here. I'm going to be doing a bit of a. I know I said that I would be doing a couple of videos on JDL games that me and MiM are currently playing at the moment. Um, these games are going pretty well actually. We're top of the leaderboard with 9 wins and 1 loss. And so we're one game ahead, and we're one game up, and we're one game ahead, which means that if we win every single other game we have, um, that's it. We like no one can beat us. There's no way even if all the other teams in all the other teams like the second, third, and fourth win their games, as long as we win ours, we're not worried. In saying that though, I did say I would be doing some drafting analysis and a couple of videos on what we drafted and how I drafted it and why we drafted it. So I'm probably about 4 games behind in doing these videos, so I think I might just skip a couple that were honestly we could have drafted badly and still won them because I don't feel our opponents were that skillful. But the most recent one, I think they're about 4.3k average. It was against the boys. I think there was, I can't exactly remember. I think it was about 4k average maybe, but it was against the boys. And the drafts were interesting. So let's have a look at game 1, and I'll go over the draft and talk about it a bit, and then I'll get into game 2. Game 2 was a bit of a stomp. Game 1 was a little bit harder. So we versus the boys, and we're MiM, but apparently someone got into our captain's account and changed the name. So that's pretty good. So I'll speed these up to about 2. Well, we'll go 4 times.
Oh man, Rick, there's only
So
10 seconds
we
left
have
to
first
ban.
pick, so they ban out Doom. I always like to get rid of Quap because she's incredibly strong at the moment. I hate Venomancer. I feel that Venomancer is really strong at the moment, but I don't see people picking him because I feel people just don't know how to play him as a core anymore. But I do feel that he's incredibly dangerous to verse. They first pick Alchemist, which I honestly had no idea why they would do that. There's no reason to first pick Alchemist. You're basically letting them counter you pretty hard, and that's what I did. Straight away, Ancient Apparition, Clockwork out the bat. Really strong against Alchemist is Ancient Apparition. Clockwork's incredibly good as well because you can lock him in place long enough for the AA Blast to actually connect. They've got an Earthshaker, so they've got 2 melee already, and they've got some decent stuns on their side, and pretty good initiation going into the mid to late game with Earthshaker finally getting his blink, if that is not a core Earthshaker. They banned out Slaughter, which I feel is a good ban if you've got an Alchemist. You don't really want to deal with that. I made the gamble that it was a support Earthshaker, probably a position 4 Earthshaker, and they would need an offlaner, so I banned out the Night Stalker. Sorry, not the Night Stalker, the
oh man, Rick, there's only 10 seconds left to pick a
Dark
hero.
Seer. I knew it was something to do with darkness.
5 seconds, Marty. It'll be fine.
Obviously, I knew the Alchemist was going to
Reserve time.
Be stacking because they're dire, and I knew we had to deal with him. See, the way to play against an Alchemist is you're never going to really win your lane because Alchemist is always going to get stacks and he's always going to get farm, and through Grievel's greed he's always going to be able to keep up with the, even if the enemy laner, mid laner gets a lot, he's still going to be able to keep up with them because of Grievel's greed. It accelerates his farm to such a high extent that even in a bad lane he's still getting ahead. So the way to deal with an Alchemist mid and an Alchemist safe lane is 7 minutes 30, right?
Yeah,
at 7 minutes 30, you smoke, you wrap round, and you go take your stacks.
Hey, Morty, guess
Now,
what
if he's
time
at
it
a
is?
bad
What do you know,
lane
Rick? What is
and he
it?
doesn't
It's
have
reserve
stacks to fall back
time.
on, means the radiance that he wants to grab is going to be pushed back by an incredible amount, usually 10 minutes. For an alchemist, that's basically GG, because you rely on hitting your timing windows. You want a sub 12 minute radiance,
Come on,
sub
Radiant team,
14
you
minute
pick
or
'em
sub
right.
15 minute BOTs, sub 20 minute Manta, and sub 25 minute Octarine. Because you want to be able to push all lanes by 25 minutes without having to worry about getting ganked, and that's what your timing windows are for. But if you give him a bad lane and let him have no stacks to fall back on, you're looking at a 15 to 20 minute
Rick,
radiance,
there's only
and then
10 seconds
everything's
left to
pushed
pick a
back.
hero.
And by the time he gets his Octarine or his Manta
5 seconds, Morty.
and
It'll
his
be fine.
BOTs, you've got a lot
at your service.
of farm
Radiant
and
team
levels
pick.
on the opposite team or on your team to be able to deal with him, because that's how Alchemist works. He gets ahead of people and he stays ahead of people and finishes the game before they can even come back in. So they picked Wind Ranger. Oh, I picked Disruptor because I knew it was a very good pick for them in all aspects of their gameplay. I probably wouldn't. The Disruptor was a pick that I wasn't
Rick,
really.
There's only 10 seconds left to pick a hero.
I was thinking of it, but I wasn't
Yeah,
100%
5 seconds
going to
left
grab
now.
it. But I banned out Ember Spirit, and Disruptor's really good
Well, what
against
do you
Ember
know?
Spirit, so
It's reserve
that was
time.
probably a bad ban for me to ban out the Ember Spirit. I don't think that was a good ban in light of picking the Disruptor. I should have banned out something else and picked the Disruptor anyway, because I was tossing him up, saying, "Oh, should I pick him or should I pick someone else?" But then I thought, no, I want a pretty defensive tri-lane, because I'm picking a Wraith King. Now, I wanted a Wraith King
Dire team pick.
from pretty much from Clockwork and Disruptor
Wind
area, and I
turbine.
wanted a defensive tri-lane. So
Radiant team ban.
and so basically I knew that I needed a pretty strong tri-lane to be able to deal with whatever they throw at him, and Disruptor was being able to basically stack and deal damage and harass. I wanted something like that, so I probably shouldn't have banned him.
Rick, there's only 10 seconds left to pick a hero.
I picked Shadow Fiend because I needed something that can quickly take
5
stacks,
seconds,
not
Morty.
mine,
It'll be
well,
fine.
mine as well, but when they smoke, go take the Alchemist stacks quickly. So
Reserve
a Cop
time.
would have been good, Shadow Fiend would have been good, Wind Ranger would have been good as well with Power Shot, but Shadow Fiend can take them really quickly, plus the negative armor from his passive is really good against Alchemist, and the magic damage that he can output early game as well as the physical DPS is great against the what I would expect to be the carry, which is the Wind Ranger. So this was actually, we were always going to grab an SF up anyway, because
Dire
just
team ban.
it's something we need, and he can lane against the Alchemist really well, because something that happens with Alchemist is, as he's laning, he'll put down Acid Spray, and he expects that to force out the enemy laner. So,
Come on, Radiant
for example,
team,
a
you gotta pick 'em
Quap
right.
or a Wind Ranger or something like that back out of their range. But with SF, what you do is, as soon as you see the Acid Spray down, you wait until he goes for a last click, you move in, you middle raise, and if he goes towards you, you short raise, and if he goes away from you, you long raise. So usually level 2 raises, you're doing more damage than the damage you take from Acid Spray, and you're forcing him back, and he's going to be missing last hits.
Oh,
So
man, Rick, there's only 10
Shadow
seconds
Fiend, I
left to
feel,
pick a
is one of
hero.
the best people to go up against Alchemist in mid,
Yeah,
because
5 seconds
if
left
you've
now.
got the balls, you can kill him multiple times. And I just did that recently in one of the
Well, what do you
in-house
know?
leagues
It's
that I played,
reserve time.
where I was versing up against an Alchemist, and I killed him 4 times in the first 5 minutes of the game, purely because he was putting too much stock in his Acid Spray. He was expecting, he was thinking that was a safety net that he could play with and play within,
on, Dire
and
team,
I was
pick it-
able to
pick it good.
disabuse him of the notion. We picked up the Wraith King straight away. I feel Wraith King is just probably a really strong hero at the moment, but he's very easily countered. He's a very strong hero because he has this ability to reset the fight. So he'll go in and he'll soak up a lot of damage and do a lot of damage, and then he's out of the game
Rick, there's
and
only
he's back
10
up in
seconds
3
left to pick a
seconds,
hero.
slowing for a large AoE, and
5 seconds, Morty.
they've used
It'll
all
be
these
fine.
abilities on him, and now the fight's reset. You know, it allows you time for reinforcements. It
Hey,
allows
Morty,
you
guess what
time
time it is?
I don't know,
to
Rick,
really
what is it?
It's
communicate
reserve
your
time.
focus priorities and your targets. It's just incredibly strong, but he's incredibly easily countered. So getting him through without a counter being picked all the way through the 5th pick, you can definitely think about going Wraith King because he's incredibly strong. You can also go Sven. I find Sven is incredibly good against Alchemist as well if he gets the farm, because he can just blink, stun, and you've got some massive crits. So they went a Phoenix, which I actually feel is probably their best pick. Like, Phoenix and Winter Wyvern were probably hands down their best picks in total. Those two just were incredibly strong. I feel that the Phoenix and the Winter Wyvern really kept them alive in this game. We had a quick Radiance on our Wraith King. We had a quick Blink Dagger following that. I think it was like a... Hold on. I think it was only a... What was it? I think it was only like a 20-minute blink. 20-minute blink. Oh, okay, 18. 20-minute Radiance, Preds, Wand. So
Oh,
yeah.
Rick, he's dominating
Nice.
now. He's
Oh yeah,
dominating.
that was my snipe. Let's just have a look at that.
Coming in.
Let's have a look at this. So I'm down here. They're pinging him out, and I'm going, okay. And I just fired one off. And
Oh my God!
it got him.
Four in a row.
Bit of a-
He's
bit
now
of a no-scope
dominating. He's
at all.
dominating, Rick.
But yeah, so I feel the Radiance Raid was very good here. Quick blink as well once he finished his Radiance. I think he got it quite quickly afterwards. Like 24, 23, 23 minutes. Yeah, under 20 minutes. Yeah, he would have got a 22, 23 minute blink after his Radiance. Then he went BKB AC after that, pretty sure. We ended it 41 minutes in. So yeah, he had his AC here on the way to him. But overall, we shut down the Alchemist really well, I feel. 41 minutes, and I think he just got his AC. And we were able to get a lot of farm on all our cores. We got a nice kill here. AA blast was really well done. I mean, I died, but who cares? SF is huge at the moment.
Shit!
He doesn't have to worry about anything. And we just push to finish. So, in saying that, I'll get into game 2. This was a stomp in my eyes. Like, I think it was like, we had the SF at one stage, like, he was like 19-1. He was just hugely fed.
Entire team banned.
But, again, I don't understand why they did this, but, I banned out the Quap straight off the bat. I take Quap. I usually have the same
Dire
2
team
bans
ban.
pretty much 90% of the time, just because I feel they're really strong and I have trouble dealing with them or drafting against them in my eyes.
Radiant
I
team ban.
usually, once the new meta comes into effect, going towards the middle of the meta, I start to really get some good drafts against heroes that I don't like. But at the moment, Quap and Veno
Oh
are my
man,
two
Rick, there's
that
only
I
10
feel.
seconds left to pick
I
a hero.
can counter Quap, but Veno, if it gets through
5
and
seconds,
you
Morty.
don't
It'll
expect
be
it,
fine.
and you don't have any form of catch
Dire
or any
team
form
pick.
of deal with him like a Tusk, then Veno's incredibly strong. So we had first pick. Doom didn't get through, but I knew what I wanted this game. I knew exactly what draft I was going for. I just didn't expect them to do the draft they did. So, I picked Dazzle.
Come on,
As I went
Radiant team,
over
you
in my
gotta pick 'em
previous
right.
video, Dazzle's very versatile. He can go everywhere. And in this one, they picked the Alchemist. And I was like,
Radiant team pick.
okay. So they've picked the Alchemist, and they know they need to pick something up here that I would probably grab anyway, which would probably be the AA. I think they grabbed the Undying. There it is.
Come on, Dire team.
So
pick
they
it,
left
pick
the
it good.
AA in the pool. And I'm honestly, I don't really need the AA for the draft that I have, because the draft that I have is just going to destroy Alchemist no matter what he does. And that is a very aggressive draft, and it's basically a well-known strat called the negative armor strat. So I pick up the SF here. I just feel mid-player plays it well. He's very strong on the hero. He doesn't make very many mistakes on the hero, and he did well previously against the Alchemist, so I don't feel any doubts whatsoever about picking up an SF. And it fits in with my draft that I want to get anyway, which is
dire team ban.
So at the moment we've got Dazzle and SF. In my eyes, I would automatically go, I'd probably get rid of the Slardar if I was on their side, but I didn't want catch. I didn't want anybody being able to get initiated on and then turn it around. So I banned out the Wind Ranger and the Disruptor. I feel Wind and the Disruptor are great for turning around fights. For example, you blink into a fight, say as Darkseer or Tide, and if you've got a good disruptor, you've got a good disruptor player, he's gone. You know, you glimpse back, or you're controlled or silenced, or you're shackle shotted. Those guys are great at turning around and initiation. So I was talking to the captain of BoyZ, which was Heavy Bolter, and I said, "What did you feel when you saw the Vengeful Spirit?" And he said, well, the first thing I said was fuck. And I was like, it's true, because Vengeful Spirit, Slardar, Shadowfiend, Dazzle, you have no armor. It's all physical DPS, or good physical DPS. And their draft at the moment can't deal with physical DPS. You got Viper, got magic resistance, and he can kite, but if he gets initiated on, what's he going to do? Witch Doctor is the same. So the rest, the final slot in my draft is Clinks. Clinks buys a Deso or Soul Ring Deso, and because at the moment I don't really, apart from Shadowfiend getting like super fat, I don't really have much push, do I? So in saying that, I like to pick up the Clinks and put him safe lane, go aggro tri lane, mid SF, and the Clinks grabs a Deso before 20 minutes, or usually around the 20-minute mark, and I don't even have to worry about pushing towers because Clinks can do it by himself. Now, these were the drafts. The one thing that I said to the opposing captain was, why the hell would you pick Alchemist twice? First pick each time. It's strong hero, but it's not a strong hero if it's counter. It falls into the same kind of area as Wraith King. You just counter him straight off the bat, and he's useless. And that's pretty much what happened this game. This might crash actually, so I do apologise. If it does crash, I'll finish up. But yeah, straight off the bat, you can just counter them, you can control them. So I went Dazzle, Slardar, Vengeful Spirit, Aggressive Trilane with Shadowfiend mid and the Clink solo safe. They went Undying Viper top or off lane with a Luna Witch Doctor safe and Alchemist mid, which was weird in my eyes. Sorry, just a bit of a yawn, long day. So yeah, these are the drafts that won us our most recent series in the JDL League, or Joint Dota League. This was about I think if you combined all the teams, it'd probably be about 4K average. I do need to do the YSM one, which was a little bit tougher to do. But in saying that, we have another game coming up soon. I'll try and get on top of that one straight afterwards and upload a video. But hopefully this helps people with how they draft and why you draft certain things and what are you thinking about when you draft. And hopefully it helps people improve. Smuggler signing off.